This is a Lajeunesse drummer on my right. This is Japrice Dean on my left, Tanner Huth sitting on my lap, and I'll have an opening statement. How about that? I have so much respect for Oregon State. They're a really good basketball team. Their coaching staff does an excellent job. That's already been proven. So that makes this win really, really special for us because we respect them so much. I loved our identity is really starting to round the corner to pressure defense, rebounding the basketball, selflessly sharing it on the offensive end, and being ready for whoever's night it is that night. Ryan, you trained me so well. I even introduced the person on my right and on my left. Okay, so sorry, I didn't know whether to wait, but all that to say is I think we're starting to get a sense of what makes us good and when we play at our best, and it was fun to have us play to that identity. Well, I think I have really good assistant coaches that are a lot smarter than me. This one happened to be Shannon Perry's, and I thought she did an excellent job with our video team of getting our team ready to go. They're a hard team to prepare for. They have so many sets. They shoot the ball so well, so they space the floor, and there's no margin for error. If you don't get them out of their rhythm, they are just so efficient, and so that was the big key. But I really liked our assist-to-turnover ratio. I don't know what it ended up, but I knew that at halftime, I think it was 13-3, 13 assists and only 3 turnovers. So I think that that's really a huge thing. It's not only your ability to be selfless enough to pass it, but being able to make the reads and deliver. And I think we're getting better at knowing how to make each other, to make a play for someone else. I say that all day, every day, is how can you make a play for someone else? And I think they're starting to understand that. Phenomenal. You know, what's really fun is when you watch players commit to adding something to their toolbox, which Monique has worked all offseason on her jump shot. Every day in practice, before practice, you're going to see her do the same routine, and she's going to shoot those shots that she made tonight. And it just puts them in a really difficult position because they wanted Gulich to be able to stay back and be a shot blocker and help on drivers. But when Monique's hitting that 17-footer, it's really difficult for them to be able to play the way, conservatively, the way they want to play. And that allowed us to be able to get to the rack and other people to be able to get post-up opportunities. We really wanted to establish Lajeunesse tonight, as well as Michaela Unenwire. But in order to be able to do that, we had to have Mo hit enough shots that we could pull Gulich away from the basket. So that it's really fun to watch a player work at something and then be selfless enough. I told her I was going to use her as a decoy sometimes. Well, she got so hot we couldn't do it anymore, but she really allowed us to be able to then, because when Gulich gets away from the basket, not only were we making that shot, but now Lajeunesse is able to get those rebounds, and those rebounding angles are a whole lot better. So it's been a long time since we out-rebounded Oregon State, so that's probably the stat I'm most pleased with.
I think it's just my team being very welcoming and helping me and just hyping me up every game, and their support helps me. So I just, game by game, I'm just trying to get in the rhythm, learn different people on the team, and it's just been great.
For the two players, Lodge had one for you tonight. It was the best shooting the team have had like throughout the season, and you guys tied the lowest attempts. Can you kind of talk about the efficiency and shooting?
We really emphasize just knowing our identity, and our identity is running and attacking the paint, getting the ball in the war zone and rebounding. So we really just try to emphasize that and not just jacking up shots. That's not really our identity.
I think that one of the big things about our bench, I do want to comment on that, is that, oh, I'm going to steal this back, is I think we really hoped as a staff that that would become a huge strength. And I'll be honest, as a coach, that was not easy to find rhythms and how to sub enough that we can play that kind of defense, but also keep us in a rhythm offensively. And we're starting to get it, but it has not come overnight. But I think that having a bench that not only comes in and gives you a punch, it extends leads, you can count on them, they're trustworthy. You have to have the selflessness to do that, and then you have to have the talent, and then you have to have the determination and preparation. And I think that is becoming an absolute strength for us, is our ability 6 through whatever we go, 6 through 10, in terms of depth. That I think that's going to be a huge thing down the stretch.
I think, like Coach said, we're making, like, we're a lot more patient, and we're making the extra pass, and once they're sinking into the paint, we're just making that kick out, and we're knocking down the shots. I think Kelly made a couple threes, like Japrice made a couple threes. So once they sink into the paint, it's easy for us to make them kick outs, and we're knocking down the three. So.
Coach, I noticed you talked a few throughout the meeting about pressuring the ball. Her stat line doesn't put up big numbers, but she's 0 turnovers. Can you talk about her?
I thought it was one of Kennedy Burke's best games. I don't really care what the stat sheet says. I know how it affects us, our plus minus. When she pressures like that and moves her feet and uses her length, her wingspan is 6'5". And over that, a little bit over 6'5", when she's able to do that, the intimidation factor, what I'm more excited about, it was her season high, 2 back-to-back season high in passion plays. And for us, we've never lost a game when we've gotten to 70 passion plays, and we actually weren't getting there early on. And the last 2 games we have, and I think it just fuels us. And it's I think it's one of Kennedy Burke's best games. Yeah, the freshmen, they've really been a spark that I didn't predict, and they give us great energy in the locker room. They have the sense of humor. Kayla Owens, has this. She's just hilarious, and they've just brought a lot of joy. And all 3 of the other freshmen that are playing right now, Lauren I thought played really well. She just does so many good things for us. Her IQ is really, really high. Michaela is such a great compliment to Laj, and obviously, who am I missing? Oh, Chantel. I just think she plays beyond her years, and she's starting to really play with aggression but under control. So it's really been fun to watch their development on the court, but what they've given us off the court maybe even better. That warms my heart. You have no idea. You have no idea. That's a great point. Thank you, Ryan. Passion plays are non-statistical categories that we really believe determine the level of our intensity. So it's like an assist screen, a charge, out-of-area rebound, assist box out. There's, I think, 7 categories. And so no move needed when you've worked so hard to prepare to get the ball that you don't even have to make a move. It's a turn and score. So it's statistical categories that wouldn't show up in your stat sheet, but we know are determining of our intangibles. Obviously, there's a really big game for us here at home, but if we have a chance, there's going to be a great preview at 8 p.m., right, Ryan, on Pac-12 Networks that will give a really good behind-the-scenes look on our preparation as well as the University of Oregon. Very excited to pack Pauly out, and it's going to be really, really fun. So tomorrow night, Saturday, 8 p.m., Pac-12 Networks, it's going to be a really fun all-access show. You have another one? Well, the great thing is it's a very similar game plan, and I think one of the things we've learned about ourselves, Laj and I were talking about this the other day, we need to not think so much. We need to not prepare so much that we're not able to play with the aggression that we know we can. So it's going to be a very similar game plan. We're obviously going to prepare the same way we always do in terms of analyzing their plays and figuring out how we can play to our identity and take away their strengths, so on and so forth. But it's going to be very similar on our plan, and they just have really good guards. They're obviously one of the the most offensively efficient teams in the country, and I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I told the team today, like, don't forget how lucky you are. As a little girl, you were dreaming about playing in these kind of games. As a little girl, you were preparing to get a full scholarship, playing in Pauley Pavilion in the #1 conference in the country. And, you know, on Sunday, we get to turn around and play an awesome team again that's going to demand our best. And I just want our players to pause and have a spirit of gratitude that we're very fortunate to do what we do.